Hey, what's going on? Wake up. Remember that movie? Vietnam. If anybody can remember that. Okay. This is part 6 of 8 as we talk about the scale. And you know what? I'm excited about this because what I've learned is that people are truly appreciating what I've been sharing about the scale. And for many people, it's been an eye opener because they realize that they have been allowing the scale to keep them mentally in jail. The scale is not your friend. It's not. Now, the scale is something that we need or we benefit from. But in reality, the scale is not going to dictate whether or not you're making progress or not. Okay? Now, it's part of the process, but we're not just going by the scale. And I'll never forget, I was with Jack LaLanne, and for some reason, I brought it up when I was at his house. And he goes, Robert, the only thing people need is a mirror and a tape measure. So let me say that one more time. Jack LaLanne told me this. All they need is a mirror. Okay, what you look in, a reflection, you can see yourself. Now, if you look in the mirror and you're naked, you know if there's some weight that could be lost. You know if you got a little bit excess body fat. Okay, you can see that in the mirror, right? And the tape measure is what you want to measure so you have a starting point, right? A baseline. And I'm big on the waistline. So if I measure the waist and I measure my neck, I measure my arms, then no matter what the scale says, I know if I'm getting smaller or not. And if you're getting smaller and you're feeling better, energy levels are high, regardless of what the scale says, you're doing good. But I have seen time and time and time again, people step on the scale after telling me, I feel better. My energy's there. The clarity is there. I like how I'm feeling. My pants are fitting better. I know I'm losing inches, Robert. I know I'm losing inches, Robert. And then they step on the scale and all of that happiness, all of that joy, all of that I'm lifted is gone. That shows the power that the scale has over us mentally. Until you shift and you get to a place where it's not about the scale. It's more about how you feel. How you feel. And it's real. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So here's what I want to share with you today. And a lot of it is based on a question. And the question is, how often would it be beneficial to weigh yourself? Now, if you're catching this on YouTube, I want you to comment. I want to hear your opinion. If you're catching me on Facebook, I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Do you feel it's best to weigh yourself every day? In your opinion, is it best to do it once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month? Is it best to step on a scale only when you go see your physician? Tell me. I want to hear. Tell me. Come on, Donna, tell me. When's the best time to step on the scale? I know people and have had clients over the years who step on the scale more than once a day, 2, 3 times a day. Every time they eat, they step on the scale. And if they would go to the restroom, they would step on the scale. They would monitor their weight all day long. They were fixated on the scale. Do I believe that's healthy? I don't believe it's healthy. I don't. Not every day, multiple times. No, I don't. Do I think it's okay to do it once a day? Yeah, that could be okay, as long as you are aware how the scale can play tricks on your mind. Because water fluctuates a lot. And if your body weight on the scale is on a minimum 50% of your weight, so if you weigh 200 pounds, 100 pounds of that 200 pounds is water inside your body. right? 83% of your blood is made up of water. 75% of your brain and your muscle is made up of water. Your bones are made up of water. 22%. Okay, we're water. And the more lean muscle you have, the more water you hold in a positive way. So water can fluctuate. So if you get that and you step on the scale today and it's 200, you step on the scale tomorrow, it's 201. If that bothers you, stop stepping on the scale. It's not helping you. It's interfering with your ability to be free. Because we know that if you're stressed out or if you have anxiety, that plays a role on if you retain water. It interferes with your ability to digest food. It hinders your ability to get to where you say you want to be. So if it stresses you out, if there's anxiety at all, you don't want to do it every day, because that means your mood is going to be dictated by what the scale tells you. And your spouse, your lover, your friends, the people around you, they don't want to be around you when you're walking around moody because the scale was not good to you. Okay, so you have the people who can do once a day. I gave my opinion about that. You got once a week. I have clients who go once every 2 weeks. My mom gets on the scale once a month. Now, at one point, it was once a week. But the reason she does it once a month, which I'm in total agreement, because she knows her, she doesn't want the scale playing games with her, because in her opinion and in her mind, she's creating health every day. So I don't need to get on the scale to affirm anything. I'm creating health. I'm not preventing disease, right? So if you're eating right, if you're drinking and staying hydrated right, if you're doing all the things that you know serve your best interests, creating, what do I need to check for? I don't. Now, if your goal is to lose weight, to drop body fat, yes. And that's where I'm going to give you the power over the scale. See, with Stay Healthy, as a company, the philosophy is whatever it is that we're doing, let's measure it so we know where we're starting, and then let's track what we measure. And if we're getting progress, that means things are going in the right direction. You don't change it. You keep doing what works. But as soon as it's not working, you evaluate it, not judge, and then you make adjustments. You pivot. You do what is necessary to get everything moving in the right direction, right? So measure, track, change when necessary. So my mom, she knows where her weight was. She tracks it after 30 days. If the weight and body fat's going down, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If she notices if weight goes up a pound, okay, have I been drinking water? You start going through this assessment and evaluating it, seeing all the positives that you're doing, but then looking for the things that you can correct or make better. And then you go another month. And because you're measuring and you're tracking, you find out if what you're doing is working. If you're not doing those things, then what's the whole point? So if you have a scale and you're a private client of mine, so let's say you're in a VIP program, right? Then you and I both know that I encourage you to step on a scale once a week. I want to know what your body fat is once a week. I want to know what your waist measurement is once a week. And I want to know what your fasting glucose is once a week, until we know that you're not insulin resistant and that there's no concerns there. Once we fade that out, then it's just a matter of measuring and tracking your weight, your body fat percentage, your waist measurement. We don't need to do glucose because we know that it's all good. And then we're good. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, but you know what I mean? So there's this thing called the National Weight Loss Registry, Weight Control Registry. And what they specialize in is that they look at people who have lost at least 30 pounds, up to 300 pounds, and kept the weight off. Okay, so over 5 years, 6 years, kept the weight off. And then they looked at what all these people have in common. Now, one I want to share with you that is not the focus, and then I'll share with you why I'm bringing this up. It is the focus because we're talking about the scale. One of the things that's very, very clear is that the people who lost the weight and have kept the weight off, a large majority, 90+%, say that the way they ate as they lost the weight is the way they continue to eat that the weight is gone. Wow. Should I say that one more time? Because if you get what I'm saying, you will never do a diet again. It gives diet-free life as a method all the credibility in the world, because we're not telling you to overhaul your life. We're not saying that you can never eat a donut. We're not saying that you can never go to the In-N-Out and have burger with the bread and fries. We're not saying that. We're going to show you how to eat what you're going to eat in private, but eat it in a way through the process of losing the weight that you lose the weight, you feel great, and the way you're eating is something that's sustainable. I can eat like this for the rest of my life, because we never said to avoid carbs. We never restricted you. We removed the challenges of a diet. It makes total sense. And anyone who can't get that, they're either fighting hard to be right because they feel that they would be wrong if they admitted to you the truth. And there's a whole bunch of those people that just don't even want to hear it, because if they didn't discover it, if it didn't come to them first, they're not interested. They would rather, kind of like Dr. Phil used to say all the time, they would rather be right than get results. Okay, keep being right. Keep being right. Right? Even though it's working. Like I have a client whose sister is doing keto and she's following the Diet-Free Life program, right? In 3 months, my client's down 30 pounds. It's a good amount of weight. Her sister's not really, the weight's not changing, but she's following keto, or it's low carb or something like that. But the sister, I said, hey, so is your sister going to come on board? Because she sees you eating this, and you had ice cream the other day, and then you're eating like everything you're doing is great. You're eating more often than she is. You're down 30 pounds. You guys started at the same time, and she's not down anything. Her sister will not come on board. It has nothing to do with the Diet-Free Life methodology, because we know it works. It has everything to do with her health, mental health, and her desire to be right and lack of humility, if you will. Because why wouldn't you do something that you see working and makes total sense? Why wouldn't you? Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because that was one of the key points that this organization focused on. But the other thing, as it pertains to the scale, is that the large majority of these people weigh once a week. Once a week. I believe that if you step on the scale once a week, that is all you need. Because at that point, you will catch whether you're starting to increase your weight, staying the same, or you're dropping weight. And then you can make changes. You can make corrections at that point. See, what this is something, let me give you a little nugget that's taking place right now in the world. Because of this pandemic, a lot is about to change, right? You're starting to see more people using continuous glucose monitors where they can constantly, you're monitoring your glucose around the clock. Why? Because it's preventative. If you see your fasting glucose going up every day, and you know that means you're moving to becoming insulin resistant or type 2 diabetic, then you're going to want to do something about it. We have grown up in a world where you go see your doctor once a year, maybe twice a year, and then you get lab work done maybe once a year, and then you find out. You don't have to wait a whole year to find out. You can right now find out if your fasting glucose is where it is tomorrow morning, and then you can do something about it. So when I have clients, it's not mandatory, but it's strongly encouraged. If I work with you and you want to lose weight, I want you to get a glucose monitor, and we're going to rule out if you're type 2 diabetic, pre-diabetic. We're going to catch it early. And I can't tell you how many people, they hadn't done it. They haven't been to the doctor in a year or whatever, and they do their fasting glucose and it's 190, 170. They go, well, what does that mean? I go, well, if you were at your doctor's right now, they would tell you that you're pre-diabetic or that they believe you're a type 2 diabetic. But because you're not, then we're going to watch those numbers go down. I watch it go down from 190, 174, 153, 120. And as that number is going down, they're burning fat more efficiently and everything is just getting better. So part of why I'm saying that is that, hey, Instead of putting so much energy into the scale, right? What you weigh, what's your fasting glucose look like? Because that's something that leads to, if it's not going in the right direction, a lack of quality in your life. And then, I could just go on and on, because I'm just so frustrated with, like, a lot of these celebrities and politicians and influencers now are speaking up about getting healthy. Where were you guys a year ago? Where were you 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago? I know what I was doing. I was doing this. But where were you guys? And now you're out in front just telling everybody about better health and losing weight and feeling great and getting the vaccine and all this stuff. Where were you? Where were you? Because I've been in the fight. I've been helping people get out of bondage, get past the struggle. Where were all these people? Now, am I happy that they are talking about health? Yes. But I also know that since the early 1900s, we eat out way more. The Industrial Revolution has changed everything. People are not eating the foods that we once ate. And now we're starting to eat a lot of foods that have been disrupted. Like if you were to get a tortilla, I was talking to a client this morning, and it's keto based. What does that mean? How was it processed? What did they remove from it and then add back to it so that they could call it keto tortilla? So it's different when you look at the macronutrients of it, the protein to fat to carbohydrate ratios. Because I know that when the food is disrupted, the more processed it is, the bigger the insulin response. And insulin as a hormone is a storage hormone, and that sets us up to not continue losing weight if that's the goal. But it prevents that. And some people start gaining weight. So there's so much to it. But the thing I want you to get out of this message, 6 out of 8, is the importance of how frequent you step on the scale. We want to use the scale. The scale is great. It's a great tool, right? Since it's been introduced in the early 1900s, great bathroom scale, great tool. Since they introduced the digital side of it, 1980, great tool. Now we have, bioelectrical impedance as part of it, where you can step on it and give you what your body fat or estimate your body fat percentage. Great tool. Now it's starting to tell you how much they predict you have as far as waters in your body and your mass, and it can link up to your phone. Great tool. But too much of anything can be a negative thing. So anyway, what's up, people? Let's keep it going. A big shout out. Ruth says once a month. Okay, I like that because Ruth has been killing it. But I'm working with Ruth right now, so we're doing once a week. But I get that. See, my mom is once a month. I think that's fair. I would say no. I would say once a month or once a week, and whatever you do, be consistent with it. Donna says every morning. Again, if you want to do it every morning, do it. But just keep in mind that it can play games with you because water fluctuates constantly. Drink more water today, less water the next day. It impacts what the scale is going to say the following day. What's up, Pam? Pam Walker, catching me live. I'm in the 805, people. Okay. Today is a good day, in the words of Ice Cube, because I had a great presentation today, you guys. Great presentation. Went really, really well. Really well. And this is more for Diet Free Life, for our coaches. We have people who are become coaches. We're getting ready to launch that in a whole bigger way. Some of you who are catching this live or the replay, I believe you're going to be a good coach because we have a method that's proven you can coach on, instant credibility, yeah. And today I presented to some big wigs, and it went really, really well. They're like, where has this been? Like, why are we just now learning about it? And I go, I've been doing this since 95. I got in this game. We've done our trials. I did an infomercial, written books. So it's not like it's, overnight success. It's been work. And now we're ready to take it to another level. All right. Anyway, Sharon says once a week. Okay. So you guys know that I'm all about once a week. I'm going to stick with the once a week because once a week makes sense. It can keep you focused. It can keep you, because if you step on the scale and from 1 week to the next and you're up 5 pounds, trust me, you're not ordering the extra bread. Or You're going to be just led by your emotions, and you're going to just overeat and just don't care. And then you're going to wake up a few days later, the next day, a week later, and just feel horrible that you let yourself like lose it like that. So let's not do that anymore. Okay. Any other questions for me before I say goodbye for the weekend? And then I got 2 more, 7 out of 8 and 8 out of 8. But if you hadn't caught the other ones, I strongly recommend you go back and just listen. You could be listening to this as you're walking, listening as you're washing dishes or taking the dishes out the dishwasher, cleaning up, vacuuming. But, knowledge is power. And I believe that I've shared some key points or information that can help you not fall victim or prey to the negatives associated with the scale. Okay. When I'm about to like end my time with you guys, when I'm live. Hey, what's up, Brenda? I was telling someone about the socks that I wore, Brenda. Those socks, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not doubting, but Brenda sent me some socks, and Brenda's a new coach in training right now. I'm very proud of her, but she sent me these socks to try. And every time I put them on, I slept great. And then I played around with it and I put them on and I didn't sleep so great. And then I put them on and then I slept good. It's almost like I don't want it to be real. You know what I mean? Like when you come across something like that, because I want it to be real because she shared with me that it's real. And I actually believe it's real. And maybe it's, I don't know. I shall please. Maybe it's placebo and I'm really pulled into it, and maybe, but even if that's the case, it's worth having these socks. So thank you, Brenda, for that. I appreciate it. Any other thing you guys want me to touch on while we're talking about the scale? Well, I got a few people catch me live. Okay, well, I do have one more thing. I'm just going to plant the seed because either next week or the week after, a dear friend of mine launched a new company, and it's not new, but it's a affiliate marketing type company. It's a network marketing company, and I was caught up in. I was doing work with a couple other companies over the last few years, and I couldn't get involved. And now I'm really going to get involved because I like what they're doing. Like, imagine being part of a company that's all based on personal development, meaning like achievement. Imagine like being part of something where it's all about helping you achieve what it is that you want to achieve, whether it's going back to school, starting a new business, or maybe you started a new business, but it'd be nice to be part of an environment that supported you achieving successes with your new business. Maybe it's riding a horse or losing weight. It's nice to have an environment that is supportive of whatever it is that you want to achieve outside of your family and close friends and stuff like that. And then imagine from a personal development standpoint, being able to increase your income by introducing other people to this whole thing about achievement. It's cool. And I'm very excited to get involved. So I'm involved. I've been working on I've been talking to certain players and people on how I'm going to introduce it to other people. And so even though I'm talking about the scale, many people who have interest in this talk will have interest in this new opportunity, if you will, about helping others achieve what they want to achieve, as well as helping yourself achieve the things that you want to achieve. So I'm going to be doing a talk on this really soon, and I'm going to bring on my friend who has this company, and then I'm going to grow it. I like it. I love the idea of selling personal achievement, personal development. I'm not against selling coffee or energy bar or selling supplements. I think that's all great. And people who do that could be they could still be a part of this because there's no conflict. right? Because if someone buys a supplement from you, obviously they're buying a supplement because they want to achieve something that maybe ties into health, or they want to make some extra money. Then they want to improve and achieve higher levels and making more money. So this makes total sense. One, for myself, and then I have some friends that are just becoming part of this club, if you will, because we're like-minded, we're entrepreneurs, we want to achieve, and so they loved it as soon as I shared it with them. And then I'm going to start sharing it more. So I kind of introduced it to some coaches. I got a couple that have come on board that totally get it, but you got to get it, right? One, you can get it for yourself. Like, you may want to achieve things, which is great. And then you'll see how you could help other people achieve, which means you achieve even more. So anyway, I did not expect to go there and share that information. I really didn't. It just came out. So, anyway, I will be sharing more. And if any of you catch this live or the replay, and I'm working with you and we talk, ask me about it and I'll tell you about it. I'm not selling you, because it's not something that I'm selling. It's not to be sold. It's really to be shared. And if you are into a personal development and achieving, and you like the idea of helping other people achieve and personal develop themselves, then it's something that will resonate with you. If not, then, hey, everybody's got what they got and everybody's going to do what they're going to do. But I like it. It makes total sense. And so I look forward to being a part of this and getting it out there. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, you guys. Have a great weekend, great day, great yesterday. And remember, the scale is not always your friend. Most of the time, it's your foe. I'm Robert Ferguson, America's fat loss coach, nutritionist, author, and someone who cares. And that's why I share information like this. So